A group of white guys singing Indian songs.
The irony of it.
The irony of it. We enjoyed the two Telugu songs so much that you guys sang today. That was a great blessing. Actually, the first bhajan I ever sang was in Hyderabad, but it was in Hindi. And it was a Telugu man who, when he saw the cassette in my hand of these North Indian bhajans and he listened to them, he was so excited about those bhajans that he wrote down all the words in the English script, Roman, so that I could read it. Because at that time, my Hindi reading was not so good. It's better now. So I'm indebted to that Telugu brother for being so excited about traditional Indian music. And I later found out that the Telugu people in general have quite a tradition of Christ-centered traditional Indian music. In fact, I read a book later on when I was doing my research called Bhakti Themes in the Telugu Hymnal. Bhakti, of course, means devotion. And it is a very prized and beautiful tradition of India. The path of loving devotion and total, complete surrender to the Lord. So I read about Purushottam Chaudhary and the beautiful Telugu songs that he wrote. But of course we are all more North Indian, Hindi and Sanskrit and Nepali language folks. But that's because my parents were missionaries. They were medical doctors in Nepal. And I was 1.5 years old. My brother was 4 years old when we went to Nepal in 1970. And we lived in a small village, and I grew up speaking Nepali and English, as you can see, with a slight Nepali accent maybe. And later on in North India, learning the sitar. This group that you see gathering behind me is made up of a bunch of guys from all over the States. And Pete Hicks, who's tuning his guitar right now, he was born in India, and born in Delhi. But he grew up as a completely American kid in the USA, in New Jersey, and then Atlanta. He's currently from Athens, Georgia. Pete, when he was about to finish high school, he thought to himself, this country where I was born, India, I've never been there as an adult. I want to know what it's like. So he heard about me. I was living in India, and I had a rock and roll band playing in the university campuses, IITs, and BITS Pilani, and all these different interesting universities. And so he came to India with his electric guitar, and we rocked out in India for a little while together. And we had this friendship and musical rapport, which evolved into Aradhana, which was more purely the bhakti music of India, focused on Jesus or Yeshu, but with a little bit of a twist, with the guitar coming in and other Western instruments. We began to compose our first album, Deep Jale, and we found this guy, Travis McAfee, as a 17 or 18-year-old at that time, and he played the bass guitar, and so the three of us did the Aradhana for quite a while. And then we discovered Jim Feist, who you've already heard playing tabla on Telugu songs today. Jim is a phenomenal tabla player from Cincinnati, Ohio. They met Jim because these guys eventually moved to Cincinnati. And Jim's been playing with us for quite a few years now. And the most recent sort of guys in Aradhana, they've come on this tour, are Steve over here. Steve is from Santa Cruz, California. In fact, he's flying back to California tomorrow. Steve is not only a drummer, he's also a tabla player. He's a student of Zakir Hussain. And him and Jim have been having so much fun because Steve has a knowledge of tabla, so he's applying the tabla stuff onto the drums. And then Joe came here. He's an electric guitar player, as you can see, a mandolin player, and he's been running sound for us in the last 10 days. He's from Nashville, and he's driving back to Nashville tonight. So you got to pray for his safe journey. And Jim is driving all night also. So both of them will reach tomorrow morning driving all night long to get back home. So that's kind of the story in brief about our group. We would like to invite you guys to make it more of a home family atmosphere today. And one of the ways you can help us do that is by coming and filling up some of these front pews. I know you might feel a little bit lazy to get up, but we always like to perform in a family atmosphere because bhakti and bhajans, these are all things which take place in homes and in villages.
Sound check before you guys all came, so we're gonna just it's gonna take a few minutes to get set up. So just relax. Check one. A little bit down. Hey, I can back off. I can back off, Joe.